Hey guys, Lunar Spire 1127 here, bringing you Fairy Tail Chapter 285, MPF. So I apologize for not making a review for last week's chapter. I was at Anime North last weekend, and it was a lot of fun. So, quick recap of what happened in last week's chapter. The third day of the Grand Magic Games began. The competition portion was called Pandemonium, where mages have to pick a certain number of monsters out of 100 to fight in a temple and to earn the most amount of points in order to win. Erza goes first. She picks 100, all 100 monsters, and she won. Now, the good things about that chapter, Erza, it shows that how awesome Erza is. Erza is one of my favorite female characters in Fairy Tail. But my problem with it is most of the chapter consisted of explaining the rules of Pandemonium. I was actually hoping to see a little bit more of Erza fighting these monsters, but I guess that's just me. So in this week's chapter, it begins with, of course, Erza's victory against all these monsters. And thanks to her, Fairy Tail Team A is no longer tied in last place. Everyone is admiring her strength, except for Obra and Orga. Sorry, I almost got her name. She gets 10 points for Fairy Tail Team A, but I think that's BS. I think she should get 100 points. She took down 100 monsters. She should get more than 10 points. I don't know if that's just me, but I'm just saying. So for the remaining seven mages, they have to play this little simple game called Magic Power Finder, MPF. It's this weird-looking table with a giant black orb on it. When it's struck by magic power, it gives out a numerical value. So I guess the highest number will be in second place, and the lowest will be in last. There's this weird thing going on in this. I don't know if it's weird or not, but in this chapter, I think Hibiki is trying to flirt with Kana, and Kana is drunk, so another pairing in Fairy Tail? I don't know, maybe. Anyway, Miliana goes first. She uses her Kitten Blast, and her power level is 365. According to Lahar, apparently it's strong enough to become a squad captain in the Magic Council. So yeah, Miliana has actually gotten a lot stronger these past 7 years. But why is it called Kitten Blast? I don't get that. I don't know. That's just me. The next is Novelli's from Quattro servers. I mean Quattro Puppy. Sorry, Elfman's stupid little bat. His power level is 124. And next is Hibiki. Unfortunately, Hibiki, he's mostly known for knowledge gathering. He's more of a knowledge type mage. And his power level is 95. Yeah, that's kind of sad, but then again, he's not the strongest mage out there. And my favorite part of the chapter was drunk Kana is actually comforting Hibiki. Hibiki is like depressed by this. I gotta admit, I did get a laugh out of that. Next is Obra from Raven Tail. He sickens his little demon thingy. I have no idea what the hell that thing is. The little demon, he just hits the black orb and it's a power level of 4. Everyone's like pretty surprised by this. I mean, it's obvious Obra is really strong. According to the members of Raven Tail, Obra has to take things seriously in order to show his magic, but he can't show it in front of these people. So he's not taking it seriously at the moment. So far, Miliana is now in the lead, but of course, Orga steps in. He uses a black lightning cannon, and his power level is 3,825. Yeah, he is really strong. And I like the panel where Laxus is looking. He's like all really impressed by it. I was actually hoping that Laxus will fight against Orga, because you know, you got a lightning mage with lightning dragon Lacrima, and you got a black lightning mage. That would actually be a pretty cool fight to see, but later on you learn that it's not going to happen. So next is Jura, one of the 10 Wizard Saints. He's also one of my favorite characters in Fairy Tail. He's like, "Can I take this seriously?" The pumpkin's like, "Yeah," and he uses something called Meido Fugaku, this huge huge blast, hits MPF, and his power level is 8,544. So now, Lamia Scales in first, and Sabretooth is in second at the moment. So the last person next is Kana. As it turns out, Kana has fairy glitter again. It turns out Mavis gave it to her again. I don't know when exactly, but the reason Mavis gave it to Kana was because she wanted Fairy Tail to win. And I was like, really? I was actually hoping that she would use her cards or something, but then again, I don't know if I should think this is cheating or not, because Kana's given a power up, but then again, it's Fairy Tail, so I don't know. So yeah, Kana uses fairy glitter. The MPF broke. It maxed out, and the power level is over 9,000. I'm sorry. I just had to say that. Seriously, when you have that on the manga, you know someone is gonna make that joke. So now, Fairy Tail Team B is now in second place. Lamia Scales in third, Sabretooth in fourth, Mermaid Heel in fifth, and Quattro Poppy in sixth, and Blue Pegasus in last place. So yeah, everyone is cheering again for Fairy Tail. Then we cut back to Raven Tail, and Narpudding gives the masked mage, apparently his name is Alexei. He gives him the matchups for the battle portion, and apparently the chapter ends with him saying, "Shall we begin for the sake of our objective?" And that's Fairy Tail chapter 285. I gotta admit, it was a pretty good chapter in terms of it was just mostly the game, but the plot only started to get going forward after it finished. Raven Tail, apparently, we don't even know the true objective of Raven Tail. They know that, I think that it was about trying to beat Fairy Tail, but Narpudding giving Alexei the matchups, it means that either this is a possible theory, but it seems that Raven Tail is teaming up with Arcadios. Maybe they have something to do with the Zodiac plan. The moon eclipse, the eclipse plan. Yeah, but we probably will have to wait and see later on of what their true objective is, whether they're working with Arcadios or not. I mean, it would explain how Narpudding got the matchups. Either that, or he spied on the, or either he spied the person who's in charge of them, and he stole the matchups. I don't know, something like that. But in next week's chapter, it says, next week's chapter is going to be Laxus versus Alexei. I really wanted to see Laxus against Orga, but I guess we won't have to see that. But so next week's chapter is going to be Laxus against Alexei. So it's not known what Alexei can do, but this might be an interesting match. I kind of want Laxus to win. I like Laxus. I guess we'll just have to wait and see who's going to win. So I guess for this chapter, I'm going to give it 7 out of 10. It was a decent chapter. Mostly, it was just a side game for ranking the rest of the mages. I'm just hoping that the fighting portion of day 3 will be a lot better than day 2, or day 1 for that matter. I don't know who else is going to be fighting with. The only ones in Fairy Tail so far, since Laxus is going to be fighting in Fairy Tail Team B, Team A, it could either be Erza again, Natsu, Gray, or Wendy. I thought that this day was supposed to be the tag team. I thought it was supposed to be like the tag team portions, but I guess maybe I was wrong, or it could be one of the other days, but who knows. So yeah, this was a pretty decent chapter. Fairy Tail standards. Can't wait to see what happens next. So yeah, Fairy Tail chapter